Happy Monday. I hope you've had a great weekend. We're just waiting to see if I'm where I'm supposed to be because I've just tried it once. I am. I'm pretty sure I'm live, Jade. Yeah, happy Monday. We've just tried this once and it all crashed and wouldn't show me that I was actually here. So you can. Yeah, we're good. So yeah, hope you had a great weekend. Weather's been mental, has it not? I was sat outside in my t-shirt and then it was singing it down. Battle of Autumn is my absolute favourite. I love being able to shut my curtains really early. Jade's hissing at me. Do you not
Still
like
summer.
autumn? It's not still summer.
Still summer.
Yeah. I had a big argument with one of my gorgeous friends about pumpkin spice season because I am all about that. So yeah, I'm having a great time.
Still summer till the 22nd.
Till the 22nd, Jade says.
Today.
I mean, she's wrong. Have you looked outside? So this morning we've been running our monthly meetup. It was amazing. We had 4 new women there who've not come to an event before. A couple of them are in the club already, but this was the first time I got to meet them in real life, so that was ace. And we talked all about PR, how to get PR for your business. It was a proper lovely session today. I feel like everyone's building back up now. I just want to sort of say, don't fall into the trap of thinking it's nearly Christmas because there's a quarter of a year and a bit to go yet. And there's still so much that you can do on your business in this time. So today we're going to talk about breaking habits that are holding you back. And there are zillions. Like, I have so many bad habits. And I know I do. And occasionally I will kind of restart, draw a line and crack back on with things. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just let them run havoc until I'm miserable and decide that I have to restart. So this is not done to shame anyone. It'll be funny if you want to tell me which ones of these are most common for you. But I want to just sort of show you that changes can make a huge difference in terms of changing your habits into positive ones, into useful stuff that can actually help you. So the big ones, the big habits that are holding us back are procrastination. Massive. I am the freaking worst for this. I will clean my whole house if I'm trying to get out of working, if it's some work that I don't want to do or it feels too big or too overwhelming. I would never clean my house under normal circumstances, ever. But I will do things I don't want to do to avoid doing other things I don't want to do. It's insane. So procrastination, doom scrolling. I have absolutely noticed that I'm doing more of that lately, and it's something I need to think about, how I address that. Distractions and letting myself be distracted, leaving myself in a position where people can distract me, using distractions as procrastination because they often tie in. Next one is overcommitting. This is absolutely me. I think I can do more in the time than I can do. I spend my whole life running around, squashing things into teeny tiny time slots. I am really bad at overcommitting, especially last minute, especially just because I think I can do it. I genuinely think I can, and then I can't. Comparisonitis, definitely a real word, where you're comparing yourself to other people and you're using that to stop you moving forward. Checking what other people in your niche are doing, but not in a research way, in a kind of envy, jealousy way. So comparing yourself to people. Poor boundaries. Not knowing how to run your business to give you the kind of life you want to lead. Like not knowing where you're guarding your free time or your family time. Knowing with yourself where you've done enough for today, because it will never be all done, but looking at where my boundaries are and what I need to do to protect them. And then this one is just, it's part procrastination, but just avoiding the boring biz stuff. And it might be boring, or I don't know how to do it, or it feels too big, biz stuff, but literally avoidance by any means necessary. Honestly, I relate to all of these. So if you do, let me know. I'm just seeing if I can see us live, because I don't know that I can. But no. Hey Jenna! Hey Cameron! Nice to see you both. Your comments don't pop up where they're supposed to pop up for my live, so I have to keep switching screens. So, procrastination, first one. Like, I'll do that tomorrow or later. I had a big conversation with Tom this weekend about I need to leave replying to emails and sending invoices and all the little stuff to an afternoon, because I've got energy in the morning and motivation, and then I use all my energy and motivation on doing all of the to-do crap stuff. So So then when I need some actual brain power to create a course or to do some recording or something, I've run out. But that procrastination thing is about not putting things off because they're overwhelming or scary or just annoying. Deciding that I will eat that frog, I will do the big horrible task first. Putting it off, waiting, makes it worse, and usually makes you more stressed as well along the way. So how we get around procrastination is you start with 5 minutes. So when we do monthly, daily MITs in the group, so your most important tasks, and one of them is around, one of the rules for MITs is that they should all be 30 minutes or less. If you know you are procrastinating, reduce that right down to 5 minutes. So if you have a presentation to write, your job is not to write a presentation, your job is to open a presentation and make the homepage slide. Reduce it really, really, really far down. Everything suddenly seems much more achievable when it's smaller, and it stops you procrastinating. Jenna says avoidance and procrastination are yours. Yeah, it's so easy to just pick something else. Start with 5 minutes. Just open your document, just draft your email, just start researching ideas for something that you want to talk about. Start really small, and then after 5 minutes you can quit and go and do something else. But the fact is, once you've started something, it is so much easier to keep going than it ever is to start it in the first place. Another good way to deal with procrastination is block off some CEO time in your calendar. So like some no excuse focus time where you are working on stuff that actually moves your business forward rather than on the day-to-day stuff that is just needed to keep it afloat, where you actually work on your business. But once a week, put a couple of hours of CEO time in and use it to get where you want to be. Give yourself fake deadlines. Sometimes this works for me wonderfully. Other times I don't give a fuck about the fake deadlines and I keep moving them back, as Jade will absolutely validate right now. But sometimes a fake deadline really, really works for me. And so, for example, if I know I'm doing some training, so I do training for Client Enterprise, when I put the dates in the diary that I'm running the training, 2 weeks before that, I will block out time in the calendar with a deadline that I need to have my slides done by then. Now, I still know I've got 2 more weeks to do that, but having that deadline and actually creating space in my calendar to do it means I'm much more likely to do it. Not always, but it's definitely a tactic to try, and sometimes stuff will work for you and sometimes it won't, and you have to figure out like how you manage yourself, because that's a big part of running a business. So that's procrastination. Doom scrolling. I'm just checking Insta for some business inspo. No you're not. You're 3 layers deep in a rabbit hole about cooking or cleaning, jet washing, watching jet washing videos. Like, that's not fucking business inspiration. It's very satisfying. It won't help you move forward in any way. So this idea of, if you're going to scroll, make sure you schedule a scroll break so that it's something that you do, like it's a treat, so it's not just something you pick up when you're a bit bored of the other stuff that you're doing. It might be that you say, I have to wait 30 minutes and then I have a 5-minute scroll break, because you know that we're all addicted and we crave that. Put focus mode on, use app blockers, do stuff to actually help yourself. This is kind of stuff I feel like you hear people talking about but you never actually do it. Try doing it. Try shutting your emails down completely. You do not need to be emailable, another definite word, while you're trying to concentrate on creating something. Lock yourself down in a way that means you can't just jump onto social and start scrolling, because it is an absolute time killer. And look after your feed. Like, you get to control what you see on your social. You can unfollow people without unfriending them if you don't want to, but look at how you curate your feed. Mute or unfollow anything that drains you or that you know takes you off into something like comparisonitis. Look after your feed. That is all within your control, and yeah, you get to decide like what you see. That's really important. One of the fastest ways for me to clear out my Facebook stuff is happening at the minute. So there's things that like don't align with my beliefs. I see someone post something that I specifically disagree with, I will unfollow them. I'll even unfriend them if I don't know them very well. And it like curates my things so I can surround myself with people whose values and beliefs I care about and that are aligned with mine. That's all right. You are allowed to look after your feed the way that you want to. So yeah, doom scrolling. Make sure you're looking at stuff you want to look at, because a lot of the time I'm doom scrolling is shit. It's utter shit. Distractions. I'm just multitasking. Like, are you though? Are you really? Multitasking is a lie. We cannot switch between that many things. This is from me, who can have 20 tabs open and be doing 20 jobs. Jay's just literally snorted. Yeah. How many times she has to say, have you done that? And I'm 4 tasks away from it because I got distracted doing something that was part of that. I'll need to get someone's email address who came to one of my events, so I'll open the Eventbrite app, get their email address, but while I'm there I remember, oh god, I hadn't scheduled that event for that next day, so I'll go and start scheduling that event, but then I need to put it on my website. And I'll be like following a pathway, but it's entirely unhealthy and it's not done what I need it to do. So with distractions, it's like that finish one task. And one good way that I find helps me is that focus on one task at a time, but write it down so that I can't tick it off until I've done it. That helps me loads, because once I realise I'm down a rabbit hole, I can at least remember where I started. I know what task I was supposed to be doing, because that happens to me a lot. I'm down the rabbit hole and I've no idea what I were doing in the first place. So write it down, have it literally sat next to you so that you have to tick it off when you've done it. That's a really good one. If you think you're multitasking, use timers. Like, I'm going to do this and it's going to take me this long, so I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes. If I need to reply to someone, I'll set a timer for 5 minutes because it should take me 2. But if I know I've got a timer going off in 5 minutes, it pulls my brain into this is the thing I'm doing. So timers work really well. And then another tip for this is keep a random thought notepad near you. So if you get distracted and you remember something else that you need to do, put it on that notepad and come back to it. But as long as you've written it down and got it out of your head, your brain will come back to what you're trying to do. Like, that was such a powerful, useful thing to do. Okay, overcommitting. I should not be allowed to give advice on this because this is without question my very, very worst thing. So this is just where you say yes to everything, from last minute client requests to a coffee. Have you got time for a quick coffee? I'm like, honestly, I love you all dearly. My heart sinks when this happens, because I ain't got time for a quick coffee, but I want to have. So then I'll squish it in because I want to do it. So I'll squash it in, and then I'm literally ramming stuff into places it should not be rammed. And it just takes my energy away. And it's not because I don't want to do it. It's because to have an actual coffee with me, you need to book it in for 4 months' time. Nobody wants to do that, including me almost, because I need to guard my time in 4 months' time. Like, it's a ridiculous spiral, and I understand it's ridiculous. But if you know you're someone who says yes straight away, it's okay to say things like, look, let me look at my diary and I'll get back to you. So it's okay to kind of push it off down the thing a bit. Create a bit of a yes filter. Does this align with my goals? Will future rocks thank me? I do a lot of stuff around future me. Will I be glad I did this? And some of it, I want to do social stuff. I just don't have time. But to some degree, I need to do some social stuff, so I stay a human rather than a workaholic robot. But you've got to find a way of it not taking over your life. And this is an easy one for me. Like, I can say no so easily. It's a lovely thing. I can say, oh, thanks so much. No, not a chance. And people laugh with me and are okay with it because of that's a lot of my personality. But practice saying no. Kindly, firmly, make it into a bit of a joke. And it's not mean, it's like leadership, and it's looking after your own time, energy. Energy is the biggest one for me. It's not about whether I've got time for something sometimes, it's whether I've got mental energy. And a lot of the time, if I've gone for coffee with someone, I ain't got the energy to do the stuff I needed to do that afternoon. And if you aren't like that, if you don't understand that whole introversion sucks energy out of you, you won't get what I'm talking about. But if you are, you'll know exactly what I mean. Just having coffee with someone that I want to means I will be less productive that afternoon. So yeah, practice saying no, and remember that every yes Every time you say yes, it means you're saying no to something else. So have a think about what that something else is and if you're okay with that. Okay, comparisonitis. Like you're scrolling, you're doubting, and suddenly your own progress feels really small, even if you were really proud of it before you started scrolling. Just remember, not many people post their flops and their face plants and their ripped jeans. So I've just come home from networking and my jeans are, you can see my ass. Don't know when that happened. Love these jeans. I'm absolutely gutted. Not a lot of people have posted about that because it's an embarrassing thing. It's right up there on my Facebook. But this comparison thing is that people have to be professional. Like there's so many things that you can decide applies to you in your world and that you're not doing very well. Like it's bollocks. There are a million different ways to do things and your ideal client will like the way that you do them. So for stuff like this, it's that stay in your lane, run your business at your pace, mind your own business. Like what am I doing and am I doing it in a way that's sustainable and enjoyable for me? Because if not, why are you running a business in the first place? I want you to enjoy what you're doing and be able to keep it up. So yeah, stay in your lane. Use other people's successes as inspiration. Like, whoa, it's really cool they did that. Is that something I want to do, or am I just jealous that they did it? What can I learn from this? What can I take from this? How could I do something similar? Be inspired by people that are better than you, and again, it's your own version of better. And keep a bit of a win list. This one helps me sometimes. Keep a win list where you can see the stuff that you've done that you're proud of, because we are very negatively minded as humans anyway. It's a natural thing. And we forget all of the stuff that we've done that was really good and we should be proud of. And just remember, somewhere out there, it's very likely that someone's looking at you and thinking, wow, you're smashing it. And that they're jealous of the stuff you're doing. Remember that. It's really hard to believe that at times, but it's true. Now I've got to fly through these fly through the recipes. Poor boundaries. I'm just always available. Clients text you at 10 o'clock at night. Facebook messages on weekends. If your business is always on, you never get a break, and I am there. I am often there. And again, it's really hard when you're a business owner. Who gives a shit? I care about my clients. I want to help my clients. It's really hard to manage boundaries. But it's okay for you to set working hours and stick to them. I've got them on my email footer, so even if people push me outside those hours, it's still there. It goes back to them. Doesn't mean they won't message me in there. What it might mean is that they don't expect me to respond because they know that I'm not officially working then. Use autoresponders and email signatures to show people when you're at work. It's okay to have an autoresponder that comes on that says, thanks for your message, I'll reply to you in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, week, whatever it is that you want to do. If you manage people's expectations, they're often a lot lower than your own expectations of yourself. And a little bit in this is protect your personal time like your best client just booked it. Your favourite client that you will give time to, that pays you well, that doesn't quibble about things, that makes you feel like a good business owner. Protect your personal time in the same way as that. Boundaries are not rude, they're really professional. And if we're interacting with a big company, some of the time we would not expect a response in the way we expect a response from a small business. Avoiding the boring stuff. I'll do the bookkeeping later. Some business tasks are not fun. Lots of business tasks are not fun. Taxes, finance, tracking expenses, doing social media for some people, I hate it. Oh god, all sorts. Updating your client list, sending out mailer light stuff. Loads of it is not fun. But it has to be done. So either you get someone else to do it, or you do things like schedule an admin power hour, where you do as many admin tasks as you possibly can in that hour. So you know what you want to achieve and you blast through it. Whack a playlist on because it's one of those faffy jobs where you don't have to concentrate. Have a treat at the end of it. Whatever it is you need to do to get through your admin, save it all up so you batch it together. If you can, outsource everything that drains you. It's not a luxury, it's an investment. If you know the stuff that you hate, find someone who's good at it. Find someone who will do it for you. It doesn't cost as much as you think it might. You might even be able to skill swap. There's always an option for something like that. And if I know I've got to do a day of boring tasks, I will set up my workspace as nicely as I can to do it. So when Jade came in last week, I'd clearly been in a great mood because I'd lit the oil burner. So we'd got some candles happening. You could put music on. You could make sure you've made yourself a favourite coffee. Do something like that's enjoyable with your boring tasks. So at least it becomes, I've got to do my accounts, but I'm going to do them in the nicest environment possible. Okay? Listen, you're already doing something amazing by running a business. That in itself is huge. And you should be really, really proud of yourself for that. But if these habits are quietly draining you, just remember you've got the power to shift them. We are entirely responsible for our own behaviour. And as much as we'd like to sort of pretend that we're not, fob it off onto circumstances or one thing led to another, other people created this, you are entirely responsible for your behaviour. So start small to beat procrastination. Make your tasks as small as you possibly can. Put limits around your screen time. Do it in a measured, considered way rather than it's just I'm a bit bored, I pick my phone up and scroll. I'm like, put your phone when you can't reach it. Do whatever it takes for you to do that. Focus like it's your superpower. If you can learn to focus on the big tasks that need to be done, your business will move forward in strides. I can't promise you that enough. Protect your energy with boundaries. Like, say no to stuff that does not move you to where you want to be or that you don't want to do. That's a really hard one. Stop your comparison spiral. Like, take inspiration from people. If you can't, and if you just stay in a zone of jealousy, unfollow them. Stop looking at what they're doing. Focus on you and what you're doing. And do the boring stuff. Like that question of what will future Rox think. Do stuff that your future self will thank you for. Alright. Hope that's given you some ideas. I am back next week. I'm just checking before I say things. I'm back next week, but we'll be at the morning time, so it's 9:15. If you want anything in the meantime, if you've got any questions, just drop me a message. You can drop it straight through the page, and let's see if there's anything that we can help you with. All right. Have a lovely, lovely week ahead, and go out and build your business. Thanks.